team of paranormal investigators is on the hunt for one thing: haunted objects. Led by a master ghost hunter with nerves of steel and years of experience putting them to the test, a skilled researcher driven to find the facts and get to the truth, and a world-class medium who can communicate directly with spirits and read the hidden energy of haunted objects. Their traveling roadshow will take them into the heart of evil.
They were hanged here.
To the most haunted locations.
There's something behind you.
Where they'll help desperate people terrorized by everyday objects. And they won't quit until the evil is found, cleansed from the object, or removed from the owner's life.
Guys, we're gonna need to repossess this one.
Thank you guys.
Family Spirit International welcomes Shane McLain on our special Halloween edition. The spooky topic is demonology. Monday, 10/21 from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Shane McLain comes to us from Savannah, Georgia. He is the demonologist and case manager for Savannah Paranormal. Savannah Paranormal Society. So proud to have him. Our agenda is, what is a demon? What are the stages of demonic possession? Paranormal Society of Savannah, Shane McLain. Are you spooky? We are too. Let's do this.
Hey, Christopher. Hey. What's up, guy? And here's Blaine Rohan. Hey, woohoo, you made it. Yay.
I didn't know we had a show. You asked me to do 2 shows with me. You didn't tell me which day, you heifer.
I put it in a chat in Messenger. You just missed the whole thing.
I wasn't paying attention to that. You know me better than that. You got to tell me directly because I'm dumb.
Hey, now, sis didn't say that. You said it. I didn't say it.
No, I take that back. I played dumb real well. Sorry.
We got a great show tonight. Hey, director, producer, Gwen John.
Hey.
What's up,
Happy
sis?
birthday, Blaine.
Yeah, happy birthday, late, belated, and all that stuff.
No, thank y'all for calling me last night. That made my night.
Oh, guys, we have a special guest tonight. We've got Shane McLain and his beautiful wife, Angie. Angie has got to be one of the sweetest ladies I've ever met.
Yes.
I mean, when you meet her, it just kind of permeates off of her. And Shane is definitely her protector, and he loves her to pieces. And he's a demonologist. Both of them are case managers for Savannah Paranormal Society. They're great people. And he's going to talk a bit about his demonology experiences, but specifically about what is a demon, what is demonology, and then basically the stages of possession. He's got a different take on it, and I really like it. Let's bring him in. Here's Angie and Shane.
Hey guys,
guys.
hey. We're here.
Thank you so much for coming on. Gosh, we got people coming in. Hi, Kathy. Hello, Lisa Marie. Thank you for watching. Kathy, I love you. Thank you so much. Guys, we've got a great show tonight. It is Halloween Eve. We got a little while, but October's, Halloween, man. It's just Halloween season. So, and with that, we talk a bit about, vampires and werewolves and all of that. But the one that really shakes us, demons. And I wanted us to have a opportunity to discuss it with someone that's in the field that knows what these things are like, and that's Shane and Angie. Guys, what's it like being in Savannah? I know it's one of the most haunted cities on Earth, but
Yeah, we're actually in Beaufort, South Carolina. And we're part of the Paranormal Society of Savannah. That's with Patrick and all them. We're case managers for them, but we are about an hour north of Savannah. So,
oh, okay,
but
yeah,
this is still around the same area, still considered the Low Country. We it gets hot around here. I
Too
mean,
hot.
like,
oh, that's right,
like
you're in Beaufort. Okay,
mhm,
yeah,
mhm.
it does get hot.
It was like in the 60s and 70s a couple of days ago, and now it's back up in the 80s, almost
Right,
90s.
right.
No.
Come here, Luna. Come here,
It's
Luna.
like here in
I know
Alabama,
you.
it was like cold in the morning, then afternoon, I'm like shedding clothes off because I'm burning up.
That's how we were in Georgia. My wife put a post out the other day, and she was like, "Georgia, one of the only places where you can put a coat on in the morning, shorts on in the afternoon, and a blanket back on in the evening."
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
That's
Alabama.
going to be true tomorrow here. 84 here and
Yeah.
a low of 43 tonight.
Yeah.
43.
Well, you live
That's
up
an
where
84
it's supposed to be
tomorrow.
cold, Chris.
Yeah, he's in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, you're
Oh,
supposed to
wow.
be cold up there. So
I wish.
43.
I'm getting an echo. If you guys have anything,
That's
if there's another, if you got it on, Ginger, what are you eating? Oh, okay, go ahead. Just want to make sure it's not something important. They get into my stuff, especially Luna.
I miss them. They're the sweetest pups.
Thank you.
They are.
Oh yeah, they're good. They're good babies.
Miss Luciana, I wanted to ask you. I was asked before we came on. Could you talk about that event that you have for the Fitzpatrick? Because we have some people watching that have asked me about it, and they asked if Paranormal Society. So please tell people about that.
Okay, so the Fitzpatrick Hotel is in Washington, Georgia, and obviously it's named after George Washington. And the downtown area, the courtyard area in front of the courthouse, and all those historic stores they're just so beautiful. And we're gonna. Oh, hey, Chad! Thank you for watching. He just had his show a little while ago.
Hey,
All right, Chad.
Gremlins. So, yeah.
And Chad is on. He's in your area as far as the type of work that you do. He likes extreme cases, so I'm glad he's watching. So, but the Fitzpatrick Hotel, we're going to start it with a vendor event. Starting, everybody's sitting up between 11 and 12, and then it goes from 12 to 5. We wanted to make sure the vendors had a great time in the nice sunshine when it's not going to be too cold. And we wanted to make sure they had plenty of time to be able to, 2 or 3 hours if they have to come from like Alabama and North Carolina, like several of these people. 3 hours isn't enough time for them to be able to get their money out of the expenses. So we extended it a little bit. And then about 5 o'clock, we're going to make some announcements, come inside. And I've set up stations. My map will be available probably by Wednesday. And we're going to have, have you ever been through a haunted house where you have a leader and it takes you through 1, 2, 3, 4, like that?
Yeah.
Well, we're going to do that so that we don't have, a mess on top of each other where people are contaminating each other's evidence and stuff.
Yeah.
So we're going to have people that's going to go through, and everybody should have a walkie-talkie or a cell phone that works in the building, and we're going to basically switch around. Each group goes to the next and the next and the next, and we're going to go around several times.
Awesome.
But each station or each case where we're going, we'll feature something specific. Like we're going to have the Estes method, and we're going to have people in the moment doing that, but people that come in the room will take over. The idea is to keep it going, keep spirits talking.
Yeah.
That way it doesn't actually end the conversation, but there's new people entering. I want to make sure people have all the experience that they possibly can. I don't know
So it's
who
just
that.
like when we all went to the Fitzpatrick, right? Where we went to ballroom
Similar.
and room
Yes.
308 or whatever it was that we never got to go to.
Yes. Well, the main thing is that I want to make sure everybody that has a question either about what's going on in the room, we'll have scrying, we'll have pendulums, we'll have compasses, things that people can use in each room. You don't have to have equipment to come. Equipment will be assigned to one room where the one person that's leading that can issue it out, but you've got to give it back. So put it back in the basket as you go out the door, and that way we'll be able to keep up with who's got what, and we'll get them back pretty quickly. I've got some pieces of equipment that are prototypes, and I think that's going to be a lot of interest. One is it's a ghost box, but it's a television, an analog television.
Oh wow! Like the
Yes.
old school white noise.
Yes. And
Oh,
the
that's
big
awesome.
thing, it's audio, but it's also video because you can actually see full body apparitions on it. But you have to
Oh
take your camera over and hit more, like turn the camera video on, and
Yeah.
then hit the more button, and then you can select slow-mo, record it in slow-mo, and then you can go back through and they will form for you. These are analog.
Could you send me the guy that made that so I can ask him about making us one?
Sure. When I bought it from him, his name is Austin Maynard. He
I
made
got
one.
him on Facebook.
Okay, so you know how to get in touch with him. He's fantastic. I love Austin. I bought this from him at the Haygood Mill Paracon 2 years ago, and he said this is the only one he had. It was a prototype, and you have to use rechargeable 9-volt batteries to even use it. It only lasts 10 minutes with regular 9-volt. That's how much power it pulls.
Oh wow!
But the evidence off of it is astounding. And he made something like it for Nick Groff, something like it. But this one was the newer version.
Nice.
And so we've got that. We've got some really cool things with our. I'm trying to get this other piece of equipment set up. I can't really disclose what it is, but it just takes the SLS camera to a whole different level.
Oh wow!
And hopefully I'll have it set up to where we can do something with it. I hope so.
Oh man, we would love to go back there with you guys again. That was so much fun.
Well, please come. I would love for you to. We have filled up the Fitzpatrick Hotel, and we're over in the Overflow Hotel now at the Hampton Inn.
Oh wow!
But the only way for us to be able to have enough organization within the whole event for us to be able to facilitate each person to where they have quality experience investigating, because it's really not about the people that's leading them through. It's about people that may or may not have had a personal experience. I mean, everybody has their own questions. They have their own experiences and bucket lists. I would very much like for them to have their moment with people that will not judge, that can help lead them through, that can protect them and keep things organized, because there's nothing worse than stepping over people and some lunatic way over there speaking too loud and like train going off and whistles, stuff like that. It's just a lot easier whenever we try to organize the chaos just a wee, so that we're all taking care of each other.
Right.
Yeah, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I really feel like the pieces of equipment is going to make. Blaine will be there. He's going to be a tour guide. My husband will be there as a tour guide, and Gwen's going to do the same. And so we're going to have maybe. My ideal would be 5 people per group, and everybody's gonna like one group 1, 2, da 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 da, and then after everybody goes through once, we're gonna make sure everybody, okay, I got to do the Estes method, I got to see the hack TV static noise, the Staticom, and then the other pieces of equipment that I've got from our sponsor, Richard Johnson. They're one of a kind too. And so, I want to make sure everybody has a chance. And one station will be nothing but vintage ghost hunting techniques. And we're going to talk about that. And then the next one will be a little more high tech. We're going to just feature different things throughout. And we are going to go in the basement, but we're going to go not down the witch's ladder because that thing's a pain in the butt and I hit my knee and that ain't
That's
happening
not good.
again.
I
We're gonna
almost
go around
fell
back.
going down that.
Well, it's really cool. I mean, it's called a witch's ladder because it's not like rungs. It's
Yeah.
like this, you know,
Yeah.
where you have to go down like that. And Blaine's long-legged self, he's not going to make it down the thing without knocking his head. I'm telling you now, he's a big man. So we're going to go in the back door.
Oh, okay. So not the way like by the front desk like we went.
Nah,
Okay,
that ain't cool.
That ladder was not cool.
She wouldn't let me go down.
No. Well, I will tell you this. Once you
No.
get down in there, you can stand up, but
Mhm.
then you have to do the limbo, basically go under some things. You're
Mhm.
still able to stand. You're not on your knees or anything.
It was
But then
creepy.
when you get to the next level area, you can stand up straight. And
Yep.
that's where everybody needs to investigate. You can go in the back door of the basement and walk in and be standing there.
Yeah.
You don't have to go
pretty.
past all the Christmas decorations and, you know, storage stuff and whatnot. So
Yeah, we got some a little bit of EVP. We got like extra voices and stuff and some girl talking, but it was not any of us. And I would not let Shane go down because of his condition when he gets dizzy. So
I
I
don't
would let
blame
him go
you.
down.
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
take care of Shane. He's our man.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, we don't
Absolutely.
need the demonologist to get sick. We got to take care of him.
No,
He's the
we'll-
ringer, you know?
No,
He's
hey,
the ringer.
Lee, we'll put a healing on him. He'll be all right. I'll do
Yeah,
some
he
Reiki on him.
will.
He'll be good.
Yeah, he'll love that. He'll love Reiki because
I'm a
Andy-
minister. I'm a minister anyway. I was a pastor for 3 years. So I believe a lot in the power of prayer and that. So, and I have end stage renal failure with one kidney. So I'm in dialysis. And
Yeah.
so it gets, my head gets a little swampy every now and then when I try to move too fast. But I'm blessed to be here. I'm blessed to be able to do what I do. And I look forward to this. I look forward to everything that the future's got.
Isn't that wonderful? I love your attitude and the way that you two work together is awesome. You know, she is so sweet. I knew the two of them were fantastic when I met them. And then as we were leaving, I could feel this sweet feeling. It's very angelic. And it was in the hallway. And then I heard this little like that, and I heard her talking, and then I realized she had a brand new kitten that she had found, and she was feeding it with a bottle, with a dropper type thing. She was going to this event, she'd disappear, and she'd come back, she'd disappear. She was feeding that kitten, taking care of that kitten the whole time.
Yeah.
And that was when I could see him. I could see the energy around him. He was protecting her and the kitten. And now I see why. And that's when I realized, I mean, I was in tears. And I realized their relationship. It was beautiful. It was a beautiful moment. And I was crying when I left. And I sent them a message. You know, I was like, guys, you're just amazing. You know,
Thank you very much.
Love you. Thank you so much.
Hey, Lee, make sure you give everybody that's listening the address for the event and the hotel where they can sign up for it because their tickets are going fast.
Tickets are going way fast. I'm just going to say this. If you guys are interested in coming, please just go ahead and get a ticket because I'm going to have to shut it off soon. It's too small. We did an event like this at the beginning of the year in a little town called Abbeville, South Carolina. And we had over 72 people in that little place, about the size of the Fitzpatrick, but they have more open spaces and a full restaurant inside the hotel.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So we could stretch out and we were okay. The Fitzpatrick doesn't really have a big room. They've only got that little ballroom type thing. And there's no traffic in there at all. I mean, you can barely get in and get out. That's why I put everything outside. And the town loved that idea because there's the through traffic of people going to the ice cream parlor and the coffee shop and the restaurant and the pub and things like that. So even just downtown going to the antique store across the street. So it'll give us a little more time to, check in their rooms and then come out and meet everybody and walk around. Probably just have music out there, just radio or something. But,
that's awesome.
Yeah, I'll put up a banner and so everybody can see it. I'll run the commercial on the end so that everybody can see the Eventbrite and the QR code is where that's where all the info is too.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, so I've got a bunch of overlays for you. And so our special agenda tonight is, okay, what is a demon, first off?
Can I ask him one question firstly before we go into that?
Sure.
Okay. Shane, this is for me. Okay.
Okay.
What percentage of cases that you have to do you think they're actually real demonic or they're just pissed off spirits?
1%.
That's what I was thinking too. I've done this for almost 60 years now, and I'm so well protected, or because they don't come near me, or I think the closest I ever came to one, and I just remember it was a jinn. It wasn't even actually a demon. It was a jinn in Iraq. So that's the closest I've came to a demon in my whole life. He didn't like me too much, and I made him go away. So,
well, something really interesting. Sorry, I had to turn my alarm clock. I don't know why I have an alarm clock set for 7:29 p.m. Monday, but sure enough, there it was, and it went off just like it should.
It's the spirits reminding you.
Say, hey, don't forget, you're supposed to be having fun right now. All right, so what is a demon? First question. Okay, and here's the overlay I did. I sent it to you. Okay, these are references in the Bible, but they are through all major religions. There's references. So demons are spoken of as spiritual beings. Whoops, it went away. Let's bring it back. And they recognize our Lord as the Son of God, and they belong to the number of the angels, kept not their first estate, or unclean spirits, or fallen angels. Now, one of the things that Leon Wilkes, and I know you know Leon.
I do know
Leon. We talk, yeah. She wants back up here, Blaine. You know she wants to see. He's right there, Blaine. Luna, he's right there. He is.
Hello, Luna Tuna. Hey, baby girl.
When you see her with
Luna.
Blaine, you'll see. She loves me. She loves Gwen. She loves everybody, but Blaine. That's her. That's her jam. That's her man. Okay, so he and I were talking about pre-Adamites, and especially about the Nephilim, and he mentioned to me that he's been doing a study on demons that may be paranormal spirits of the Nephilim. And I thought, holy Moses, what did he just crack open there?
Enoch. That's what he cracked open. Enoch.
That's it, the book of Enoch.
But
and
still, though,
I'm going through all the Dead Sea Scroll books. Sorry, Blaine. I'm just
they were all entities when they had a flesh body, and now they can have a spiritual body too. Because I thought they were spiritual both ways, but that's fascinating. If they could actually, we know they had a physical body at one time. And now they just roam around like nothing ever happened to them. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
We'll battle to go.
Right. That's questionable in theology too. That's why Enoch is mentioned in the Bible, but it's not in the Bible because it doesn't meet canon.
Right.
So unless a book meets canon, which is a very particular standard, it's not going to meet. And that's one of the biggest discussions in Enoch. Are the angels and the giants, and were they human and things like that. Initially, demons, they were angels. They were angels. They were some very high-ranking angels. The same way that you have hierarchy, when it comes to demons and the princes and kings of hell, it's the same way in heaven. You have Michael the Archangel, Gabriel. You have ones like that. Well, then you got Lucifer, which is an angelic name. That name was given to him. He was a very high-ranking angel, and he saw God on the throne, and he was like, what? I think I could do what you do. Yeah. And not only did he say it and truly believe it, but he deceived a third of God's angels, which are now called demons. And then that's where we can get into the book of Enoch. Because once they are demonized and then they get in human relations, that's where we get a lot of the potential like first attachments or possessions or things like that, because that's where we can first see record of it through there. And that's why I think the book of Enoch is fascinating.
Isn't it though?
So Shane, I want to bring this. I want to bring this up too. Chris, be quiet.
Oh,
Be
now.
quiet. Be quiet.
Wait a minute. We're going to have a timeout on the board, flag on the play.
What?
All right.
Well, don't overtalk me, Chris.
Right.
Lord, brothers.
Oh, sorry.
All right.
No, my point was, you go back and look at stories before Enoch, and you look at like Zeus and Prometheus, and the same thing with the devil and God. They said, why don't you give them a choice? Prometheus was fire. He would have given humans fire, and Zeus did not. Well, Lucifer wanted to give people free choice, and God didn't want him to do it. So that's his whole rebellion. He wanted to give people free spirit to choose
free will.
Free will. And God didn't agree with it, and he pretty much set Lucifer down, and I know he took Lilith away from Adam. Well, she pretty much left him because she wanted equal rights, and Adam would not go give her equal billing. So, and see, I've got a master's in history, so I know a lot of this stuff. And religious history really fascinates me.
It does, Christopher, too.
When Lilith finally left, they call her the mother of all demons because she bore all the demons that were not 1/3 of the angel class. So, and I believe that since they, like especially the Nephilim, when they mated with human, they're half spirit and half human.
Right.
But they still have, human DNA, and they have angel DNA if they even have DNA. I don't know. They never tell us that in the Bible class. Well, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, so here's the next slide. What is demonology? Oh, wait a minute. Let me pull the comment down real quick because it'll be over the top of our stuff. Thank you so much, Lisa Marie. This is so exciting. All right. Isn't it, though? All right. What is demonology? Well, let's try it again. Isn't that cute?
Oh, no, there's interference.
You want me to try it?
You're going to give people epilepsy here in a minute with that, Lee.
I know what's going on.
You want me to
All
try,
right.
Lee?
I know what it is. They don't want us to talk about it. That's what.
That's it.
I know it.
Yeah,
too.
go ahead. Gwen, go ahead. See
And
if
if
we can
Shane's
get
like
it.
me, we're like, go ahead, bring it on. Whatever you can bring at me, I got 10 times for you. Come on, let's go.
Right.
There we go.
Study
All
of
right.
demons. Study of demons, belief in demons, the doctrine of evil spirits.
Thank you, Shane. This is weird. Why would
No,
it?
it's typical for our show
It
that
will not
somebody
do it.
doesn't want us to talk about it. It's gonna be inflicted. That's why I'm glad Shane's a good he has a good memory of what's on there. So Shane can give us what they
Okay.
go. They're not gonna shut me or Shane up.
No,
So
no.
Here we go.
they
Here
can
we
try,
go.
but they lose every time.
Not it.
All right, and there it is. See? Ta-ta!
Maybe
There you go.
The study of demons or evil spirits, belief in demons, a doctrine of evil spirits. Okay. A lot of people say that it's they don't agree with demonology because they say, and they say me, but they say, hey, that's giving the devil too much
Absolutely not.
glory. No, what you're doing is you're studying the other team's playbook, and
you are.
we are counseling ourselves. Knowledge is power.
That's it. That's
Okay,
it.
so the study of demonology is not just the study of demons. It is the study of angels, the choir of angels, the choir of angels that are the reverse, the demons, because they have a hierarchy just like us, like angels. And there's different things that they do. A lot of people don't know that there's actual choirs of angels that cannot go to God without going through another choir of angels.
Mhm.
However, we can go directly to God. How privileged are we?
That's it. I know.
And people don't, I don't know, people don't get it. And they want to, okay. Anyway, the next one, we're going to talk just a second more about what is demonology, because you gave me these. And since this thing's wanting to act up, I'm going to go about it by sharing a screen. Boom. Theologically, demonology is based upon the numerous references in the Bible, both in the ancient Jewish tradition and in the New Testament. Belief in spirit beings was fairly universal, as was a belief in related phenomena such as inspiration, spirit possession, and the struggle against possession by exorcism. Okay, let's do a preview real quick of that, because we're going to go into what is demonic. What are the stages of demonic possession?
Right. There's like he mentioned, there's several different, like every single culture, it's amazing to me because not every single culture recognizes God. Some cultures represent gods, but every single culture has their form of demon, their form of evil spirit, whether it be a jinn. There's so many difference in the tiers that they have, the hierarchy, 1, 2, and 3 hierarchy of hell. So, you have princes, you have kings, the same thing. And so I get asked the same thing. You're like, in demonology, does that mean that you worship demons? And I'm like, absolutely not. Actually,
I know, I've heard that too. And it's like, what is your problem?
His dialysis nurse asked him that when he wore the shirt to dialysis.
Yes, demonologist.
Bless her. She didn't know.
No. And I think it's great because, my coach used to tell me, the best offense is a solid defense.
Yes, that's true. 100%.
In order for us to be able to fight this battle like Ephesians 6, if we are supposed to fight this battle, then we have to put on the full armor of God. And to understand that is to understand what we're dealing with. And then I get, I talk about this a lot with people. A lot of people don't. Do you guys know how many heavens there are?
I don't.
Well, in the Bible, Paul said in the book of Thessalonians, he says, I know a disciple, whether in body or out of body, was lifted to the third heaven. And what he saw, his eyes and ears can't comprehend. Now, Lucifer was kicked out of the throne of God. The name Lucifer was stripped off of him, and we now call him Satan in the Greek, which is deceiver of all. So, now, listen, there's 3 heavens. So you got the throne of God. And in the book of Job, it says, and the sons of God, which are the angels, came to present themselves before the Lord like they were clocking into work, and Satan was with them. Okay, so that tells you right there. And we can predate Job all the way to Genesis. So, we can go back chronologically all the way to Genesis with the book of Job. So the sons of God came and clocked themselves in. Well, if Satan was kicked out the throne of God, how was he being able to walk with the angels? He is so cunning and so deceiving that he could actually walk with the angels and them not recognize who he is. The Bible says that he comes as an angel of light. So the interesting part about this is, and they're like, well, that's the second heaven. Well, the first, think about the first heaven, God. The sun, the moon, the stars, the galaxies, the stars. Do you know, there's trillions of stars in the sky. Not one person has ever reached a star. We are 93 million miles away from the sun. If we were 998, we would incinerate. The earth is on a perfect axis. If we were 1 degree to the left, we'd freeze. 1 degree to the right, we'd overheat. Who put it on that axis? See, these are things that man cannot do. And that's why it baffles science so much. So when people ask me, why do you study demonology? Because I learn all this stuff. I learn all this stuff from a theological, biblical point of view. Theology in the Greek is theos and logos, which is literally the study of God. It's as simple for an elementary child to be able to comprehend, but is complex for a doctor to write thesis and papers and I mean just books on, and just like the Bible says, if we were to write down everything that we have encountered in this book, man could not carry this book. And that's the same way with all the knowledge that you gain. I mean, can you imagine writing a book of every single minute, every single day, every single hour of your life? Imagine what that book would look like.
Mine would be boring, but
But I love studying, guys. I love studying the book of Timothy.
Too.
The book of Timothy says, "Study to show yourself approved unto God, a workman who does not need to be ashamed." 1 Corinthians 15:58 is to stand firm and let nothing move you, that you know the work you do in the Lord will not be in vain. So I know that I'm on the right path because, when I am studying, I'm studying to strengthen my bond, strengthen my relationship with God. And to understand why I love God so much, I have to understand the things that oppose God.
Yep.
Let me get to the next slide for you because I think that's where you're headed. All righty. It is, well, that is not it right there. Can you see that?
No, I'm on a phone. I'm on a phone,
Okay.
so I can't see it. See, you'd have to read it out if you do.
Okay, I'll do that. Okay, share screens. Okay, what is the meaning of demonology in psychology?
That's why I put that up there. That's for
Demonology is the view that abnormal mental function is due the occupation by an evil being of the mind of a person.
Right.
So I know that there's the feeling that when people are dealing with a lot of negative energy, a lot of problems, and their energy gets out of balance. Now, this is more on of a Eastern medicine type thing,
right.
But they
Right.
say you will get sick if you don't have things balanced. And so what this is saying is basically a Western version of that, saying, okay, all these negative entities can make someone have a mental illness or an illness in general. Is that what I'm reading according to you?
Absolutely. We have to be very careful. I'm part of the Paranormal Clergy Institute with Rich Valdez, Father James Long. We started this years and years ago. It's overrun by the First Catholic Church. And before we consider anything demonic, anything that is considered demonic, there has to be a physical, a mental assessment. And with us that are in clergy, we have to do a spiritual assessment, so these things all have to line up for us to really drop that. And the way that YouTube is today, everything is demonic, and that's just simply not true. There's things that can be explained, and mental health is one of them. Mental health is the one thing I have heard that mental health, that somebody with progressive schizophrenia will look a lot like someone with demonic possession.
Absolutely.
So how would you differentiate? And that's why really knowing what you're looking for, really having the right people in your corner, and having people there that can analyze, that can look at the situation and be like, hey, before we go on with this, let me run a few tests on this person. Let me see, because there's ways that you can tell if a person is on the verge or at possession. There's steps to this, and we'll also get into the steps. Also, there's steps, but the same way with mental health, they can be controlled, but there's certain things. There's a spiritual element to demonic possession that's different than anything in mental health, and it stems from a spiritual aspect. And that's where us as clergy and demonologists can tell the difference, is that demonic infestation and oppression and stuff like that is very much spiritual, but it also affects the mental, it affects physical. There's so many things that it affects. So we have to be able to differentiate between the two.
Well, let me ask you this. Okay. Being a veteran and having post-traumatic stress disorder.
Thank you for your service.
Oh, thank you. But mentally, I also got a master's in psychology too. Sorry,
Awesome.
I was a smart kid, so I like to study, and they gave me free stuff. I took it. So, I know a lot of veterans when they came back from over there.
Oh man.
That they were hearing voices, they were seeing things that I do every day anyway before I went over there. So that's just part of me. But I've had some of them tell me that they feel like they've been possessed. They feel like that they can't cope, and they're having people in their heads tell them, go ahead and kill this person or kill yourself. And I know part of that's part of the mental illness being over there. So, and plus two, you can check too by what if you got a case and somebody says they're having demonic. First thing I'll do is ask them what medications they're on.
Right, exactly.
Some medications can cause hallucinations. It could be several different things that could cause it, like ultraviolet light can cause it, magnetism, strobe cause it. But how would somebody know? Because I haven't experienced too many demons except for the jinn, and I believe that is a demon from old. How could you differentiate with somebody that's mentally ill and possessed?
Well, one thing is you think about someone that's got a mental illness. First of all, the schizophrenia part does look like that. But when a person starts, having five voices in there, if you hold up a crucifix to them, and they have a reaction to it, you could take holy water and put it on somebody with schizophrenia and they'll probably want to attack you or something like that around that area. But someone with mental illness wouldn't necessarily do that. And so like I said, most of what spiritual possession has a lot to do with the spiritual nature of it instead of the mental health. So there's ways to distinguish between the two.
Richard Zumwalt has a good comment here. I'm going to bring him in, his comment. A good way to tell whether it's schizophrenia, it's pretty simple. Somebody that's possessed can actually perform acts that are impossible for humans.
Yeah.
Like what you were just saying, like knowing things they couldn't possibly know about you, or performing physical acts like levitation, contortion, changing their eyes, the colors and things like that. So yeah, there's some impossibilities, that you see in demonic cases.
Exactly.
I know that oh gosh, I can't say her name right, but she's the exorcism of Annalise.
Annalise.
She knew some things because she had studied, and she knew a lot of things about Latin and things, but there's things that she knew that nobody could know.
Well, the personal note on things, demons, they know, they know the Bible better than we do. They know God better than we do. So I mean, they know the insecurities, they know the emotions, the turmoils, the damage somebody has gone through. They know all traumas, and they know things about you that you may not have told anybody, but that demon reflects and is able to throw that back at you to get you mentally away and thrown off of what you're there to be doing when it comes to that.
Yeah, I had an experience like that with Leon. I was there to help get the name of the demon, and also to help get the information that he needed. He would ask me, is she telling the truth? Things like that. And finally, it came to, I was trying to get a specific question. I'm not going to go into all that. It gets kind of convoluted, but all of a sudden I started seeing these pictures in my head, and they were of Leon's children, and they were on the back of a four-wheeler, and they were killed, and they were laying across like a deer, like, and I started getting upset and, crying, and I was distracting Leon. And, he turned to me and was like, be quiet, you need to be quiet, fight it, and then whenever it was all over with, he asked me what I saw, and I told him, it was pretty, it was terrifying. That's all I'm going to say. It was just terrifying. And, but I could see how the demons that were involved in that case, how they were trying to take away from our concentration, take away from our faith, take away from our prayers by distracting us in our human
That's it.
concern. Christopher made a comment just now in our private chat. He said the use of holy artifacts can differentiate also.
That's
And
the spiritual nature that I was talking about. Holy water, crucifix, things of that nature. And I use a Benedict crucifix, when I'm doing cases. I use a Benedict, and there's a reason why. It's because, I had a guy tell me one time, and he was like, you ever see why when people just put straight crosses that it doesn't work as well with the crucifix? Because when Jesus was on the cross, that's what defeated death. That's what defeated the devil over 2,000 something years ago. So there's power in that. There's power whenever you use that and you say, Jesus said that your works will be greater than mine. And it's not even fathomable to think that we can really do things like Jesus, but he gave us the authority to do so. He gave us the authority to cast out demons, to heal, to do things like that. And a lot of people, they don't have the strength or willingness in their spiritual background, to really be able to activate that power that Jesus gave us. But that's why people tell me, they're like, why do you have a crucifix? Jesus and on the cross. That's exactly right. But the cross itself is a form of torture. It was a Roman torture treatment. It's not the cross that makes me think of it was Jesus on the cross, because he rose from the dead. That's what gave us all life. But the power to defeat evil and against Satan and all his demonic works, a crucifix, holy artifacts, holy oil, holy water, crucifix, Benedict crucifix, frankincense, things of that nature. When I do a cleansing, that's what works. That's what works in these houses, because holy artifacts are what tame down that activity, if not demolish it.
Victoria's in my classes, and she worked in mental health, and she said she had three different patients when she worked mental health that were possessed, and the doctors just shipped them back to their country. They were from South America. And I just I wanted to throw this in there. Barry Fitzgerald, who was a member of Ghost Hunters and Ghost Hunters International, wrote a book called The Influence. And I love that book because it speaks very specifically about his research when he went to a mental health facility to research the paranormal there, when there were schizophrenic patients and they were having bad moments. He could get EVPs, and they were being tortured by evil entities, whether they're demonic or mean people, or who knows. But he was getting paranormal activity. So are these people somewhat psychic? And then have they they've been tormented to the point now where they are no longer functional in society because they've been treated so badly? Or is it a twofold? I think every person is different. She's saying now, okay, Victoria said salt and vinegar, it helps to get off spirits, but I don't know about demonic spirits. Well, I think that what Shane has explained, is where we're at with that. I feel like that's, I know that there's just a lot of mental health facilities that have unresolved, not just psychiatric issues, but they've also got unresolved supernatural issues.
Yes.
Well,
You know,
we are.
it's you know, it's fascinating to me because I have a therapist also, and I asked him because he knows what I do. And you know, it's funny talking to your therapist too, because he's like, you know, one of the questions he asked you, because I do paranormal investigation, he was like, do you hear voices? I was like, all the time. You don't even know, you know. So I mean, but I know what he's talking about, and it's ironic because we are trained to spiritually understand if a person's possessed, but we're also, you know, have discernment to know if it's a mental health issue. And I asked him on the mental health issue, I'm like, have you ever come encounter with someone that you have felt like had a spiritual battle going on? And he says, that's a lot of personal belief. And he says, you know, we can't incorporate a lot of our spiritual and regular like personal belief into a diagnosis like in mental health.
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
I think it's fascinating.
so we've got a conversation going on in the comments. Victoria is saying when you work in mental health, you can see who's possessed and who's not. And also your friend Lisa Marie, who's in the in clergy with you, she says that when people open the door to Satan when they with their lives, because other people who may they may be watching and not realize the way they open themselves. And they maybe they could explain that. We don't have time to explain it tonight, my love, because we've got 1 minute to close. But that's a great conversation. We're just going to have you back because people are really interested. Richard says there's power in the divine authority that Christ has over them, not
Absolutely.
physical objects that could have origins in false religions or represent demonic entities themselves. And that's in Exodus. Thank
That's
you.
it.
Yes,
That's
Kathy,
it.
you're right. This is a very interesting show tonight. Do you have anything that you would like to say? How can people reach you or reach the clergy that you are with?
Well, you can reach out to us just on our Facebook, Angie and Shane McLain. That's our personal. We're very wide open. I am the founder. We are the founder of Outer Realms Paranormal. So please look that up and join Outer Realms. You can reach me there. We are case managers for the Paranormal Society of Savannah, and we are active members for Paranormal Clergy Institute. There's 51 or 52 of us around the world. And you know, we really enjoy doing what we're doing, but you can reach me in any one of those.
Yes, thank you so much, Chad. Thank you, Victoria. Okay, so Victoria is saying that her mother needs help. She can't even visit her. So, Victoria, I'm going to ask you to reach out directly to Angie and Shane
Please do.
McLain. He just gave you that information. I am going to end the show now with the ticket information for the Fitzpatrick.
Awesome.
So thank you everybody for watching, and we will be Wednesday. We'll have our regular Family Spirit show, and we'll have Lynn Monet from the Gaia channel. She's also an author, and she will be at the Fitzpatrick Hotel November 2nd with her books, and she'll be available for questions. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great night. Great show, guys.
Thank you for having us on,
We
guys.
love you.
Thank you.
Thank
Love you
you.
too.